Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm Luah here, back again for another video. And in today's video, I'm going to be doing a new series on my channel where I'm going to be teaching you guys how to build some stuff. Okay, so the first episode I'm going to do of this is going to be something that a lot of people struggle with when building, and that is circles and spheres in Minecraft. So I'm going to be teaching you how to build both of them today and some easy methods to do so. So let's get right into the video. Alright, so the first thing that you're going to want to do is get some simple blocks. So I'm going to take sea lanterns, red wool, and stone because those are just some simple blocks that I'm going to use for my circles for now. So the first thing I'm going to teach you is how to make an actual circle because that's very important. So what I'm going to do is teach you kind of the basics of a circle first. So obviously know what a circle looks like. So there's one simple term that comes to basically everything in Minecraft when you're building a shape, and that is the radius, but it's more of a circle type of thing. So the radius of a circle is the amount of, well, in Minecraft terms, is the amount of blocks on one side of the center block. So if you were standing here and you wanted to build let's just say you wanted to build a circle with a 5-block radius around you, or even just like a 3-block radius or 4-block radius, then what you would want to do is take your block and build out, say, 4-block radius. You'd want to build out 4 blocks, and then this is your radius. You'd want to do that on every side like this. But I'm going to actually make this a 3-block radius because it's just easier that way. And then, so this next part, depending on how big your circle is going to be slightly different. So I'll do a few examples first. So first one for a 3-block radius is really simple. You just want to build 1 block out in both sides of the pillars, put a block diagonally, and then just do the same thing. So then it will look like this, and you can fill it in. And then you got kind of a very small looking circle. But now I'm going to be showing you how to do this with a bigger radius. So if I want to do, say, a 6-block radius, so that is 6 blocks, 1, 2, 3. Alright, so what you'd want to do for this is kind of the same pattern you've got going here, where you extend this part out and then kind of round it off. But what I see a lot of people do is things like this, where they go like that and think that that's a circle. And while that can work in some cases, that's not really a circle. So what you really want to do is something like this, where you have, so generally what the pattern is you want to extend this out. So in this case, you're gonna have 6 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's gonna be the radius of your circle was 6, if you remember. So what you'd want to do is take out this block, right? Count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And generally, you want to start by doing 2 or even 3. Like, you could extend this out and do like that, kind of in a circular pattern, and have 3 going. But you generally want to go like, so say this was kind of the base of your circle, like that point, you'd want to do like 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, and then repeat that on every single side. So that would be just a corner of it, and these would be your midpoints, kind of, if that makes sense. And then you just mirror that onto every single side of the build, and that's generally an easy way to do it. So I'm just gonna extend this out all the way and show you what it looks like so that you can see why this is good. And this might not be super helpful, but building spheres is very helpful. But if you already know how to build circles, then building spheres should be very easy. So as you can see, it's looking wonderful. What a good looking circle we have going here. yeah, now we have a very round looking circle. So we're going to be building a sphere with this circle first, and then we will be moving on to this bigger circle, which is a little bit more complicated. So this is a very simple technique to build a sphere, and this is generally what you want to do. So if you see this, you have one, two, three, blah, blah, blah. So this corner block, or any of these corner blocks, so if this was your middle, these blocks right here, so there's 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. So you have 2, 1, 2 kind of. What you'd want to do is, since this is only one block, you'd want to just go up diagonally and put one block. And so then you kind of have that, right? Now you'd want to go up another block, right? And just make this, let's just say a 3 by 3 for now. And we'll extend it out later. But you'd want to do something like this. And then what you'd want to do is mirror this onto this side of the sphere. So you'd have kind of this pattern, right? On this side of the sphere, though, this time. And you'd want to do this on every single side. So you can see why building something like that would be a lot more difficult the bigger the sphere, the bigger the circle you have for the base, because that will determine how long it's basically going to take to build this, because building these parts does take quite a while if you have a lot, like a bigger circle. Alright, so now that we've got this done, you can probably imagine what we're going to do next. We are going to do the same thing for the top, just extend it out by 1, so that would be that middle block, and then do this, and then just connect it up like we did on the bottom. And then we've got this circle right here. Now what we're going to want to do next is make a second circle on the top. So what we're going to want to do is take this and add one block on the outside, and for this circle we're just going to connect it like that, so that it kind of just outlines that with the corners involved. We don't want to cut those corners, we want to keep them there for now. And then we're just going to want to do that, surround this entire circle like so. We're going to do this on the bottom as well, and that will give us some more shape to our circle. And it's going to be slightly different once we get onto a bigger circle, and yeah, I'll show you how to do that after. So now we're going to want to do the same thing with this. So this is kind of the same, we just want to kind of connect this up, but as you can see, they form kind of a pattern here. So now you kind of have one side of your circle done. But if you really wanted to, you could try to make this a little more round, because right now it is kind of boxy, but I'll show you how to do that in a second. And yeah, for this circle, it's kind of different because it's very small. I mean, it's not small, but it's just like not the largest sphere in the world. So we're just gonna have this go out like so, build it up, build it across, and there we got our sphere. Now the next part, which we could do to make it a little more round on this side, and I'm just going to do this on this side, and you can decide which one you want to do, is just cut these corner blocks. So you know how I said earlier to keep these? Well, you can, if it's the very corner of the sphere, you can cut the blocks, kind of, and just fill in that block, and it might look a little bit nicer, but I only recommend doing that if it's on the very corner of the sphere, although this one kind of is the corner of the sphere because this is a very small sphere. And as you can see, it looks a little bit better to me, having it just kind of, I don't know, pyramid-like in a way. It looks a little smoother, I mean not smoother, but like rounder. And we're just going to do that for every single side here. And now we have a nice little tiny sphere. Now we're going to move on to something a little bit bigger. Now we're not going to be doing this sphere in particular because that would just take too long. But the pattern for this is the same. You'd want to do these blocks, so you do 2, 1, 2, and then you'd want to do 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3. So you'd want to do that, and then that's basically what you do, and you do kind of the same exact thing. But I'm not going to be doing that because that is going to take a long time. So instead, I'm going to do a radius of 5, not 4. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to kind of, we could do the same thing we did over there, or we could do this kind of pattern, if that makes sense, and just kind of have that like so. And you don't necessarily need one block things in the middle. It's just generally good. It makes it a little bit more round in some cases, but you can only really do that if you have bigger circles. Like small 3-block circles generally just have one block in the middle. 4-block circles are kind of just squares in the corners, and this is kind of the same except there's no corner blocks. So this one is going to be a little bit longer to build, but we're going to do it anyways. We're just going to build this up, get the frame going, and so I'll show you what I mean by that now. So we're just going to build out our frame for our circle, and you can see that it's the same circle on the bottom, and these are the 2 corner bits that were right here, so 2, and that you'd want to do that, and then you'd want to fill this in. Do this on every single side, and then on the top, I'm going to save you the pain of watching this, and I'm going to fill it in right now off camera, and I will come back once it's done, once I'm done filling this. Now, okay, so I haven't filled in the top quite yet, but it's basically the same thing. I'm just going to go through it with you. So you'd want to do the same thing on the top, on the bottom that you did, and then do the same thing on the top. It's very, very simple. Once you get the concept of spheres, they are very, very easy to do. And yeah, it might take a long time to build them, but it doesn't mean they're hard to do. It just means that you might have to spend a little bit of time making them. So now that we've got all 6 sides filled in, I'm going to show you the next step that you're going to want to do in basically any build. Not build, but in any sphere. So as you can see here, we can't just do the same thing we did here where we build one block out kind of around it on every single side, because there is kind of, a 2-3 block gap. Yeah, there's a 3-block gap, as you can see, so we'd have to do this. So what we're gonna do is we're going to build this around each circle once, and then we're gonna fill in the corners. So this is gonna be very simple to do, and generally what you're gonna want to do is get this block. I usually start on the top because it's easier for me to make the next circle that's kind of gonna surround this, because we don't want to just completely surround it like we did on that one. That was just for that smaller circle. What we're gonna want to do instead is go out 5 blocks this time. So you'd want to go this, and then you'd want to kind of take this amount of blocks that's here. So for example, it's 3. We're going to add 1 more, and then we're going to kind of make another circle around. So this might take a little while. If you're new to circles, it might be kind of difficult to get something that looks around, but you're just going to want to kind of do the same pattern, and I'm just going to end up doing basically what we did over here, except that the base bit is not going to be 3, it's going to be 5. And then we're going to just surround this with the same kind of pattern. So 2, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, and then on this corner 2, 1, 2, 5, and then we're just gonna fill in these little gaps in the middle between them. All right, and then all we're gonna want to do after we do that is do this on every single side. So if you don't get it, I'll do it on this side for you. So you don't want to go 5, so this would be 5, and then you just want to do 2, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, 5, 2, 1, 2, and then 5. And then you'd want to fill in these little gaps in between here, of course. The same thing you did on the top. And I'll get back once I do every single side and do all of those. Alright, now I've got every single side filled in besides the bottom, and I'm just going to do that with you guys so that you can see how I do it, because it's the same exact thing, but just in case you couldn't figure it out, I'm going to just do it with you. We're just going to do the same exact thing that we did on every single side. And yeah, then we're just gonna fill this bit in right here. Very simple to do. And then all we'll have left is the corners, which are very simple to do as well. Alright, so now we're gonna do the corners, and I start at the top with these ones too. I just find it easier to start at the top. And then we're going to just kind of do the same thing we did over there. So we could connect these corners, but if we do that, then I'll show you they're going to kind of have a kind of more cubey looking look to them. So I'm just gonna remove the connecting blocks, and we've got a circular corner. So I'm going to do it without the corners this time, so I'll show you. So we'd want to do this, so we kind of want to just surround this, break that block, so we don't have the corners connecting these blocks together. We just have kind of a diagonal circle going around. And then we're just going to place a block here, like so. Then we're just going to do this for every single side. Alright, so that is it. We are done building our circle, and as you can see, it looks quite nice. It looks round, and it just looks great in general. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope it was informative enough to you guys. So if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want me to continue this series but with other things, make sure to let me know in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the next video. Goodbye.